Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. Wheel of Fortune fans get a special treat when former host, Pat Sajak, returns to the show. Undoubtedly, it has kicked up emotions in some people who miss seeing Pat regularly. But many fans are begging him to stay and take over for Ryan Seacrest. Pat Sajak takes another spin. During the Monday, December 2nd episode of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, fans get to see the long-time host, Pat Sajak, step out of retirement and return to screens. Previously, it was teased that Pat might return as the host sometime before the end of the year. After the pause for Pat's last season of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, fans weren't sure if they would see Pat before 2025. But now, Maggie Sajak gave a sneak peek of Pat preparing for the real deal. He's suiting up and jumping back into his old routine gig he had for more than 4 decades. Pat Sajak returns to set. On Maggie Sajak's Instagram page, she gives fans an update about Pat Sajak returning. He will be having one last spin on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune for 2024. She captions, "Look who's back behind the wheel for a special episode of At Celebrity Wheel of Fortune Eyes Monday night at 8/7 on at ABC Sparkles. When the video rolls, Pat is kicked back reading through his lines. Nice and relaxed, he is as comfortable as ever on the Wheel of Fortune set. She calls out, "Hey, Pat, it's time." Then, holds up a tie which she tossed for him to start his suit-up routine. As he gets up and walks to the stage, he straightens his tie and she throws him his suit coat like the pro he is. In anticipation of his big night, he pulls it on and takes strides across the stage. Undoubtedly, he's back and gliding through the set like he never left. As he struts back on stage, one fan says, "Whoa. Legend. Clapping hand sign, clapping hand sign, clapping hand sign, clapping hand sign. Another adds, "Best news ever." Fans beg him to stay. After Maggie Sajak added her quick clip, fans were excited to see Pat Sajak rejoining the crew. Some people even want him to stay and take back the reins from Ryan Seacrest. Someone notes, "He should have never left." One user is enjoying Ryan Seacrest's new spin, but is happy to see the friendly former host. "Ryan is a great host, but it's fun to see you again too." Someone else wants Maggie to extend the offer for Pat to take the wheel again. "Ask your dad to please come out of retirement. Sincerely, all of us Wheel fans. Pat, I miss your excitement, smiles, and laughter. We know you deserve retirement, but we're a little selfish as we miss you so much and a lot of people have grown up with you from the beginning and many brought their children and grandchildren. We can't wait until Monday." Fire person raising both hands in celebration, blue heart. "Yay, I'll definitely watch Pat. We miss him so much. Medium light skin tone emoji modifier. I can't wait. Hash Ryan just doesn't do it for me." Are you glad to see Pat Sajak return to host Celebrity Wheel of Fortune? Do you like how Ryan Seacrest is running the show? WOF. Pat Sajak returns to set, fans beg him to stay. In a world of constantly shifting entertainment landscapes, few constants have been as comforting as Pat Sajak's presence on Wheel of Fortune. For nearly 4 decades, Sajak has been the steady hand at the helm of the iconic game show, welcoming viewers with his trademark wit and charm. The announcement that Pat Sajak would be stepping away from the spotlight at the end of the 2023 season shocked both casual viewers and die-hard fans alike. But, just when it seemed like his time had come to an end, a surprising twist unfolded. Pat Sajak returned to the Wheel of Fortune set for a special occasion, sparking an outpouring of support from fans who begged him to stay. The farewell that wasn't. When Pat Sajak announced his retirement in 2023, it was the end of an era for Wheel of Fortune. Fans were met with mixed emotions, as Sajak had become an inseparable part of their evening routine. His friendly banter with contestants, the iconic "I'll take the tea" Vanna, and his effortless hosting style had made him a household name. For many, Sajak wasn't just the face of the game show, he was the embodiment of comfort and familiarity. His departure marked the end of an era that many thought could never be replicated. But just when viewers were beginning to adjust to life without their beloved host, the unexpected happened. In early December 2024, Pat Sajak made an unannounced return to the Wheel of Fortune set for a surprise guest appearance during a holiday-themed episode. This was no ordinary return, it was a moment that sent shockwaves through both the Wheel of Fortune studio and its dedicated fanbase. The audience was thrilled to see Sajak back in action, even for just a brief time. Fans quickly flooded social media with messages of love, appreciation, and a fervent plea for him to remain as the show's permanent host. The hashtag #StayPat began trending across Twitter, with countless viewers expressing their desire for Sajak to extend his time on the show. Their sentiments echoed a sense of nostalgia, love for his iconic role, and disbelief that the show could go on without him. The return, a nostalgic trip down memory lane. For fans of Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak's return to the set was a moment of pure nostalgia. It was as though time had rewound, and they were once again sitting down to watch their favorite game show host navigate the famous puzzle board with his signature ease. Fans remarked that seeing Sajak once more reminded them of all the reasons they fell in love with the show in the first place. It wasn't just about the game, it was about the camaraderie, the warmth, and the excitement that Sajak brought to each episode. In the special return segment, Sajak took the opportunity to reminisce about his decades-long tenure as host. He shared personal anecdotes about his early days on the show, including the challenge of learning how to interact with contestants and the surprising fact that he never expected Wheel of Fortune to last as long as it has. His humility and self-awareness shone through as he joked about the quirks of the show's production and the close-knit family he had built with the crew and contestants over the years. Sajak also took a moment to thank the fans who had supported him throughout his career. He acknowledged that it was their loyalty and enthusiasm that had allowed him to make Wheel of Fortune a staple of American television for as long as it had been. He reflected on how the show had become a part of people's lives, whether they tuned in for the puzzles, the fun interactions, or simply the joy of hearing his familiar voice. Sajak's words were genuine and heartfelt, as if he were truly speaking to the audience from his heart, reinforcing why so many people had developed such a deep connection with him over the years. Fans react, a sea of support. The reaction from fans was immediate and overwhelming. Social media platforms erupted with messages from longtime viewers expressing their longing for Pat Sajak to remain at the helm of the show. Thousands of people shared stories of how Sajak had been a consistent and comforting presence in their lives, spanning generations of families who had watched Wheel of Fortune together. It wasn't just about the puzzles, it was about the shared experience of watching Sajak navigate the game show with wit, humor, and a kind-hearted spirit. One fan tweeted, "Pat Sajak is Wheel of Fortune. It's hard to imagine the show without him. It feels like a family member leaving. Please stay, Pat." Another user expressed similar feelings, stating, "Pat, you've been such a huge part of my childhood and adulthood. There's no one like you. Don't leave us yet." The fervent outpouring of support didn't stop there. Many fans shared personal stories about how Wheel of Fortune had played an important role in their lives. Some spoke about watching the show with their parents or children, passing down the tradition of solving puzzles together. Others reflected on the comfort they found in the consistency of having Pat Sajak as the face of the show, especially during difficult times in their personal lives. The emotional connection that Sajak had cultivated over the years was evident in the messages flooding in from viewers around the world. It wasn't just about entertainment, it was about the joy and comfort Sajak had brought into their homes. A dilemma for the future. While Pat Sajak's return to the Wheel of Fortune set delighted fans, it also raised a crucial question: should he stay? The show had already begun the transition to a new era with Ryan Seacrest lined up as his successor. Seacrest, a seasoned host known for his work on American Idol and Live with Kelly and Ryan, seemed like a natural fit for the role, but it was clear from the reaction of fans that they weren't ready to say goodbye to Sajak. The dilemma facing the Wheel of Fortune team was a delicate one. While the producers had made the decision to move forward with Seacrest, they couldn't ignore the outpouring of love and support for Sajak. Was it possible for both hosts to coexist in some capacity? Could Sajak return to Wheel of Fortune for special episodes or guest appearances, keeping the spirit of the show alive while allowing Seacrest to establish his own unique presence? Some fans suggested that a compromise might be the solution. Perhaps Sajak could remain in some capacity, either as a co-host for select episodes or as a mentor to Seacrest. This would allow the show to honor Sajak's legacy while also introducing a new generation of viewers to Seacrest's style. It's a model that has worked for other long-running shows, where former hosts make guest appearances or pass the baton to a new host while maintaining a connection to the show's history. However, there were also those who believed that Sajak's time had truly come to an end. They argued that while his return was emotional and nostalgic, it was ultimately time for the show to evolve and embrace new energy. The world of television was constantly changing, and Wheel of Fortune was no exception. With Seacrest at the helm, many felt that the show could continue to thrive in a new direction, while still paying homage to the legacy of Pat Sajak. The future of Wheel of Fortune. As the dust settled from Sajak's unexpected return, the future of Wheel of Fortune remained uncertain. The transition to Seacrest as host would undoubtedly bring changes, but whether those changes would be embraced by the audience was still up in the air. The show's producers had made it clear that they were committed to evolving Wheel of Fortune while honoring its long history, and that meant finding a balance between the past and the future. In the meantime, Pat Sajak's return had reignited the passion of Wheel of Fortune fans. It was a reminder of how deeply intertwined the show had become with the lives of its viewers, and how much they cherished the connection they had with Sajak. As the iconic host stepped away from the stage once more, fans were left with a sense of hope that, perhaps, their favorite host might return in the future, whether in a full-time capacity or as a beloved guest. Pat Sajak's legacy on Wheel of Fortune is undeniable. He was more than just a game show host, he was a friend, a constant, and a source of joy for millions of viewers. His unexpected return to the set was a moment of magic, a brief but powerful reminder of why Wheel of Fortune had endured for so long. Whether or not Pat Sajak will continue in any official capacity remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, his presence on Wheel of Fortune will never be forgotten, and the fans will always be waiting for the day he returns, once again, to spin the wheel. Drop your comments below.